What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Careless Kingdom. I'm Soap. This is the Hiley Rider T10 Pro, otherwise known as the T10P. And today, I'm going to give you a full look down on it and a review. Tell you what I think so far, and of course we'll have updates in the future. So this is there with all of her glory, her lights, headlight, you got the tail lights and all that good stuff. But yeah, let's tell you a little bit more about it, what I like, what I don't, etc. First of all, we're going to start with the wheels. So the wheels we have on this thing are 10-inch, if I'm not mistaken. They're the Hiley motor, but they're pretty much just a clone of the Dualtron. Or, you know, they might potentially even come out of the same factory. That I'm not sure on. But the cool thing about these motors is that down in here, it's hard to see. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the internal screws there. So if I need to change a wheel, all I have to do is take off one side of the swing arm and then take off those inner screws, and the wheel and the rim actually separate from the motor. So that's one huge plus. If I'm not mistaken, you should be able to replace the current tires and wheels on it with Dualtron. So if you wanted to go tubeless, you definitely could. Or if you just want to have a couple different sets of rims sitting around with tires on them ready to go, you could do that as well in an easy manner. So on to the brakes. The brakes that we're running on here are just generic hydraulic brakes. Of course, this is a 60-volt hydraulic version. If I was going to suggest one to you, I would say go with the hydraulics, just because the mechanical brakes, especially on a scooter that goes as fast as these do, I don't think that's a great idea personally. But being said, whenever you go with the 60-volt, you get the upgrade also of having hydraulic brakes, so I definitely would stay in that route. The hydraulic brakes on these things, very similar to like nut brakes and such like that. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special, but they work and they get the job done. The fenders on here, they're a little hard plastic, but they don't touch the wheels even whenever you got the suspension coming up and down or anything like that. So I haven't had a problem with those like I did on the T8P or Hiley T8 Pro, where they snapped off on me. These seem like they're going to last and last a good while. The suspension, while we're down here, let me get you zoomed in. Yeah, so it's hard to see, but the suspension is just a coil, and with the coil, of course, you have an adjuster right on the side. You got to take a tool specifically for coils and such like that. You put her on there, twister, and that loosens or tightens the preload, which doesn't necessarily give you better or worse. I would say it more gives you a loose or tighter feel. So for instance, whenever you put your foot on it, if you have it loose, it's going to sag down a lot further than if you have it tight. It's going to stay up a little bit higher. So you do have a little bit of range whenever it comes to suspension. We're going to move on to the lighting. The lighting on this guy is my favorite part, and I'm sure it's your favorite part as well, or at least one of them. The lighting is absolutely fantastic. As you see, we got the stem lights run down through here. They say Hiley on them. The moving technology by Hiley down the bottom as well. You got the front headlight, which is just kind of a generic headlight on these things. I've seen similar on other scooters, and it does okay, but of course if you're riding at night, I would get better ones. With the lights on the rear, you can see that we have the tail lights. When you hold them down, they're going to blink, but if you turn off the deck lights, then they only come on whenever you hold down the brake. The deck on this thing is absolutely fantastic. The only thing that I don't really like is this, which this is just your holder for your, whenever you bring down the stem, and I'll show you that here in a bit. But the deck itself is fantastic. It's a good size. You can see this is my hand on it. This is a size 9.5 or 10 shoe, and you see that how it fits on there. But overall, lengthwise and all that, plenty of room, plus you have the back spacer to put your foot there, which is always nice. So yeah, deck, definitely great. I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how to fold this thing. First of all, we're going to start with the stem. As you see here, and if you're familiar with any of the Dualtrons, this is kind of similar to what they got going on, where you got the spring, and the spring actually holds down your neck brace here. So even if on the other side, which here I'll tilt you over so we can see, on the other side here, there's just the clamp, right? So you loosen up that clamp, which I got to do with 2 hands, and I'll do it here in a moment. But once we do that, the neck stem, the only thing that's going to be holding it down is the spring. So for instance, let me hold the scooter, pull that out. At this point, the only thing holding this down is the spring, which is very nice if this were to loosen up on you when you're riding, which hasn't happened to me. But if it were, your stem's not going to come up on you. You actually got to give it a little bit of pressure here, push up, and you see that we're folding down. And once we're folded down like that, that's where the neck brace here, this comes in handy because you fold this guy down, you fold that up, let's see, just like that, and you can just pick it up by a stem. I've carried it around like that quite a bit. It's a little heavy, of course, but it's very doable. To get it repositioned back up, it's as simple as not pressing the gas, but lifting it up. You see how it locked into place automatically? Once it's automatically locked into place, all you simply do at that point, push down the clamp on the other side, and you're good. You're back to riding. So in terms of like a large scooter that's easy to like disassemble and put back up real quickly, the Hiley like really rocks there. Let me get it down though, and we'll go over the handlebars. As you can see, not too heavy. Also not too light. Just for reference, by the way, I'm 5'9". You see me beside a scooter. I'm also roughly 260 pounds right now. For you bigger guys, this is definitely big guy certified. All right, to the handlebars. What we got cooking up here is just our standard kind of display. I know you've seen this display before on other types of scooters. Nothing too special, but it does the job, and it does the job well. Kind of moving you out here into the sun a little bit. But yeah, this is our light button for the lights on the stem and such. You see we hold it, and then we're off, hold it again, and we're on. Our light button for our actual headlight is over here, but we'll focus on that here in a bit. Right now we're still on the screen. On the top, this is our power button. Of course, hold it on, turn it off, hold it on, turn it on. You press it once, goes to your trip, your odometer. You see I have 193 miles on this. You got your voltage, miles on current trip, etc. The bottom one, if you just tap it instead of holding it, remember holding it, lights on, or lights off, and lights on. But tapping it, you can see here, this is what gear you're in for speed. So just tap it to go through your gears. On the other side, we have our buttons. Here's our headlight on and off. We got our horn, which comes out of that front light. Our eco, turbo, single, and dual. So yeah, as you see, not a whole lot to do up here. The grips I have on here are aftermarket. I like them because they give a little bit more stretch out on the, you know, the width. But yeah, here you can see the brakes again. I kind of like how we have this BMX-ish kind of handlebar style, so if you want to mount stuff, you got plenty of room to mount stuff. And that's a big problem with these scooters, the ones that just come down like that. A lot of people, I mean, they even sell the aftermarket bar that goes there. So that's a nice thought from Hiley. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's a fantastic scooter. It's been a fantastic scooter to me so far. I haven't had any flats or anything on the current tires, which is nice, or the current tubes. I haven't really adjusted too much of anything on it. When I ride it, I just ride it, and when I don't, I just don't. And with that being said, and it being a 60 volt, it's pretty quick. Like, I think the quickest I've gotten to, which you can see in my other videos, is right about probably like 38, close to 40. I'm sure it would hit 40, but that's a little fast for me, guys. But yeah, overall, it's going to do you fantastic on speed. Range wise, I would say around 20 miles, depending how fast you're going, like how much you're booking it, how many big hills, steep hills and such you go up. Like for instance, this behind us, like I could go right up that, no problem at all, if I wanted to, which actually we might just show you. Okay, maybe a little problem. It's pretty steep. But for instance, you know, most other hills that aren't that steep, which it's hard to tell with the camera, but once I got past that, I should be able to cruise up there pretty easily and such. Plus, of course, we're not at a full battery. We're actually at 62 volts, so maybe on a full voltage, and maybe if I got a little bit of run of it, I could go up that really easily. I'm pretty sure I could. But yeah, fantastic scooter. I love it so far. Thank you to Hiley for working with me. Of course, this isn't a sponsored video or anything like that. I have an affiliate link where I get a little bit of a kickback, and that kickback actually just goes to paying off this scooter. But other than that, yeah, it's been great. If you have any questions or anything specifically you want to see, just drop it down in the comments, and I'll be happy to try to accommodate where I can. Thanks, guys. Peace. Also, like, comment, subscribe. All right, this is in the future, and I just can't leave without giving it another shot. So we'll see if it happens. I had to get a little bit of run, or I have to, I think. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. That's how she's done. Can I come down without face planting? Yeah. All right, I've redeemed myself.